When did you start watching it? When was
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Last one to the airport buys breakfast. Day one.
Damn, bro, why you smell so good?
Why you sniffing me like that? But, little package touchdown for Plant Made. It's the drizzle right here.
It's the plant made. You got
Yeah.
the drizzle, huh?
I got everything. Come on, I got the soil, got the doula, everything.
Bro, listen,
I ain't playing around.
You know I'm white, right? I can use this?
Come on, this is for everybody.
It's for everybody?
Everybody, look, take a look. Come on. Look at the ingredients, all that.
So right here is the Growth Shampoo Bar. This is one of my favorites. You know me, I got that long hair. I like it's a little luscious. What do you got?
I got the do right here. If this is what you use if you need to moisturize, revitalize, the strands in here. You know what I'm saying? Get you right.
So the most beautiful thing about Plant Made is
It's all vegan and it's all high quality, natural made products.
even me?
Yes, I told you this in the beginning, man. You good.
Okay, all right, dude. I just check in, dude. I just
No,
have to
you good.
check
I'm telling
sometimes.
you, you good. I mean, listen, you can use this for your girl, your beard, your beard growth routine.
So but it smells so good. So my main piece is gonna be like, why does my side piece smell like Plant Made too?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's where it gets tricky because she gonna smell it.
Yeah.
And then she might walk into the crib and it might smell like a little bit of Plant Made in the crib from the steam in the shower and everything. Then you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Might be tricky, but I think you should just get the side piece right. I feel like everybody deserves a little bit of Plant Made. Listen, they're a trusted company. Everything is handmade. On top of that, they are black and female. Come on now. Go get you some Plant Made.
Black females, I like where this is going.
Now listen, if you were listening to The Crew Has It, you could get 15% off on your next order. Only if you were listening to The Crew Has It, though. We're not doing none of them other,
Yeah.
none of them other viewers. You know what I'm saying?
So make sure you use the code CREW at weareplantmade.com. Once again, that is weareplantmade.com. Use the promo code CREW for 15% off your first order.
Go get you them sexy natural products, baby. Yeah. Don't play about that. Back to the episode.
All right, so we got to introduce our guest today. He is one of the most recognizable faces on television ever, okay? Mike, who do we got in here?
Got Stephen A. Smith in the building. We got the legend in the building, baby. Come on, man.
What's up, y'all?
And I want to say he's a day one Crew Has It loyal viewer, bro.
And he's a giant Power fan, one of the
Yeah.
biggest Power fans.
Yes.
So he does his show over there. We do our show over here.
Yep.
And sometimes we, interact. And every time he sees, he's like, oh, man. I'm like, is that Stephen A.
Love
Smith
it.
saying that to
Yeah.
us?
Love it,
Yeah.
love it,
Yeah.
man. I just text Method Man a couple of months ago. I was like, bro, I'm so proud of you, man. I never thought, I never watched his career as I know him as a rap artist. I didn't know acting. I've seen him try to act sometimes, but in him and Mary J. Blige and what they're doing with this show, it's unbelievable. I got to give a lot of love and props. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that there was anything that y'all franchise could create that I would love as much as Power.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I said, man, this is serious.
Yeah.
This is serious.
So we'll get into a little bit of the ghost stuff at the
Sure.
end. But I want to talk Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Like
We
I
gotta
actually
talk
like.
about
I'm here.
Like
I'm here. Yeah.
like. So what was the first thing that you got involved with? Television? Was it acting? Was it a little bit of sports stuff? Like I want to know the
You done did it
story
all, man.
early on.
Man, I was in school. I got into the business because I was on a basketball scholarship at Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina. And my very first year there, I cracked my kneecap in half. My kneecap split in half. And I was never going to be the same. And so my mom was like, yeah, literally the bone cracked in half. And my mother was like, well, there goes that dream. You know what I'm saying? Not that I was good enough to take it that far anyway. I could ball, but not to the level like you see some of these ballers out here. And I said, I'm going to be a journalist. And at that time, when you looked at the television industry, you saw people on camera and you assumed they were just reading a prompter and smiling. And my older sister, Linda, looked at me and she was like, that ain't you. You smile, you laugh and all of that stuff when people are funny. And when there's something to laugh about, but you ain't the type of person that could just fake it like that. That's not who you are, not when it comes to stuff like that. So you got to have some substance. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to learn how to write. And so I started writing for the school newspaper, and then ultimately I got internships in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Atlanta, all of that stuff. Started out my career at the New York Daily News, worked there for 14 months, went to the Philadelphia Inquirer, and my first job there was covering St. Joe's basketball. 2 weeks into the job, they promoted me and put me on the Temple beat with John Chaney, the late, great John Chaney. I did that, college basketball and football for 3 years, and then they told me, you know your basketball.
Right,
It's time to go on.
It's that time.
And it was the day that Allen Iverson was drafted.
Wow.
And I was writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Oh, cool.
And they said, you're going to be the backup beat writer to the Philadelphia 76ers. So you got the primary beat writer. They travel wherever the team goes, they go, et cetera, et cetera. You're that person's backup. 1 year later, they said, it's all yours. The day that Larry Brown and Billy King arrived to coach the team.
Yeah.
And covering AI,
Yeah,
my
that had to be
career,
crazy.
it was bananas.
Yeah, because AI was that. He was that dude. He was wild in the NBA.
Listen. People don't realize this. AI, the only person more popular than him for, I would tell you, the first 5, 6 years in the league was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Michael Jordan departed, when he left, it was AI. It was
no
AI. I'm
question
talking
about it.
popularity.
Yeah, for sure.
Kobe was special, but he wasn't that dude at that time. Shaq was the diesel, but you 7'1". You know, AI with the tats, the cornrows,
He just
the
had that swag.
crossover. Your rookie year, you cross over MJ and pull up
Had him
for the J.
shifted.
You know, just you did that, and it was like he was a beat in and of himself, man. This dude was an absolute rock star. That made my life a nightmare because as a beat writer, you're supposed to be covering the team, but he was his own beat. So it was like double duty for me. And anything that had on him, it could be in the locker room. It could be at a Fridays on City Avenue near the main line. It could be a casino. It could be at a party. But wherever stuff went on about AI, it was my job to know about it.
So you had to just follow him pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. Not him like literally following
Right.
him, but I mean, and AI, and I think that's why, that's why we're so close to this very day. We've had our ups and downs over the years, no doubt, but especially now, he's like the little brother I never had. We're very, very tight. We talk about 3 times a month, but one of the reasons we're tight is because, I know things no one knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen things very few people have seen.
Right.
And, and he knows there's certain lines that never gets crossed. And that's my man. And
Unless
you know,
you're on the Crew Has It podcast. So tell us one of those stories. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome though. So what's like an early memory that you had of, kind of getting started doing all that where
a real remarkable
where
moment.
you like, this is a special job that I have.
Well, the first thing for me was covering Temple.
Right.
And here's the reason why. So I'm covering Temple, and UMass is ranked 5th in the nation. John Calipari is coaching them, Lou Rowe, Mike Williams, Marcus Camby, all of these brothers. And Temple is playing against them, and they're unranked and all of that other stuff. And you go there, and they were playing at this spot called McGonigal Hall in Philadelphia. It only seated like 3,900 people. It was a real small gymnasium and stuff like that. But, I mean, you had fire hazards up in there because everybody in the city was at this game. There was no standing
active.
room. There was no sit room. Nothing. You
So it was
couldn't
like a
breathe.
summer game.
It was like an oven in there, and Temple beat them. Temple took them out. And the crowd jumped over me and stormed the court. And that was the first time that I had ever experienced something like that. And it was at that moment that I said, you don't get this covering news. You don't get this covering politics. You don't get this just doing, being in law school or whatever. That moment right there, because to me, I think what my advantage has always been as a reporter is that I feel the action. Like for me, I go to the arena like it's a big game. My hair is standing up on my skin like I'm about to play.
Because you connected to the game just like everyone
I
else
just
that's
love
reading.
it. It's like you just love it. You can't get enough of it because you just feel the vibe. I'm one of those dudes where I walk around the city. I want to feel the pulse of the place. You know what I mean? I go into the arena and I was famous for this part. Whenever and any time, and I still do it to this very day, when I'm in an arena early and I ain't got to be up on set or something like that. And obviously when I was doing newspapers for television, I didn't have to worry about that. I would always make sure I'm courtside. and walk around and watch the layup line, because I was the kind of dude that, I knew a lot about what was going on, so I could look at a dude and
see
see
the
if he's
energy.
ready,
Could
see if
see
he's
the
ready.
energy.
I could look at a dude and, you was doing something last night. Yeah,
You're not ready for
you
the
ain't
day.
getting enough sleep last night. Yeah, you ready. Yeah, you a little high. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Nah, I could see it, and so I could literally stand right there and look at cats and knew who was ready, and I would know when a big game, like it's a big game and you just looking at certain cats and it's like they're ready. AI would be the kind of person that he hanging out late, he's sleepy, whatever, and somebody would say something, talk smack about him or whatever, the big game arrived, and then I walk in the game and I look in his eyes and he just looks at me and he just keeps walking and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
He coming.
Yeah,
he coming tonight, he's coming tonight. So it's those kind of things. You can't get that anyway. You just can't.
That's such a crazy feeling too.
Yeah.
Especially that game, them rushing over you at the end of the buzzer.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, that energy is different.
The energy is different, but the energy in the building, it's like, once the game goes on and the game gets tight, any competitor can gravitate to that moment.
Right.
But where you see the true dudes is when they that way beforehand, where you just look at them and it's like, yo, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Oh, really?
I'm in Sacramento. It's 2000. It's Game 7. Lakers, Sacramento Kings. It's Shaq, Kobe, Robert Horry, Rick Fox, all of these brothers. It's Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, all of these cats.
I'm getting like goosebumps because I can
Bibby.
imagine
Right.
the amount of games and insane
Yes.
moments you've seen in real
No
life.
question about it. Jordan crosses over Byron Russell, hits the game winner for his last championship. I'm right there. I'm right there. I mean, it's like, you just sitting there, you in the press box, you're like, you ain't supposed to be reacting to this stuff. You're supposed to be sitting there. But you're supposed to be,
you can't control that like that.
and then you usually do. And then that time, Jordan comes from the weak side, strips Karl Malone, gets the ball, and you're like, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
It's the championship now. See, it's game 6, it's the championship. And you're like, he ain't giving this up. But you gotta remember, Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr one time. Jordan passed it to John Paxson another time.
what's gonna happen.
He's sitting up there. So you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And I said, yo, he ain't getting this up. He ain't giving it up. And then he drives right, and I was like, ooh, and he crossed him over and pushed on. I was like, oh, and then he
pull
shot
a mid-range.
and then paused. I was like, ah! We all going crazy,
Right.
And so it's like that.
Wow.
But getting to that game 7 in Sacramento, Shaq was talking smack. I'm not worried about the Sacramento Queens and stuff like that. They
Sacramento
go up
Queens.
3-3. It's game 7. And it's something, you just feel it in the air. Sacramento's going crazy. The Cowbells, they ain't won a championship in decades. All of this stuff is going on. And I looked at the national anthem. The national anthem is being played. And I'm a few feet away from the late, great Kobe Bryant. He's standing right next to Shaq. You can go back to the highlights. You'll see it for yourself. He's standing next to Shaq. And the national anthem is being played. And Kobe is just standing there with his hands in his pocket. He's not blinking. He's just staring straight ahead, looking like, everybody else standing in line, showing due respect to the national anthem, et cetera, et cetera. Kobe is standing there with his hands in his pocket and just looking at Sacramento, straight at them. And I know Kobe. I knew Kobe. Again, God rest his soul. I knew him well.
Mamba mentality.
And so when I looked at him, I'm telling you, that look was two things. I'm not remotely concerned. And I'm gonna bust y'all ass. And it was like that.
Right.
It was like, and it's little moments like that when you cover the sport, you see something a little bit different. And it's not about 30 points, 40 points, or whatever. It's that I'm going to take whatever heart you think you have. It's a wrap. I'm coming for you. And you see, and that's what you look for when you look at competition. That's the difference between me and, let's say, an average fan that's going for a game. You pay your ticket, you look. I'm rolling up at the game and I'm looking at all of them. And the cats that have been around long enough know that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like during games, it could be a boxing match, it could be a basketball, it could be anything. I never bother anybody. All I say to them, they come to me and be like, you ready?
Right.
I don't ask no questions. I ain't got no notepad out of it. You Ready?
Right.
Handle your business. That's exactly what I say. And I leave them be because you got to be a real low life to be messing with somebody before they're about to go
sure.
to
Handle
their
some business.
to their definition of war. You don't mess with that. You leave them be, and then you just look in their eyes. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen cats, and I went like this. They in trouble. They don't have it. They don't have it because you know who's on the other side.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's hot. You know, it's hot. I've been at the pool a lot. You know, in the Penty, I've been at the pool, chilling.
And you know what they say? It's not about the size of the cannonball. You just need to make a splash. And me, I do neither.
Yeah, now I know we're doing the Manscaped ad.
Yeah, bro. You know Manscaped.
Shout out to the boys at Manscaped, baby.
Listen, it's time to get ready and not sweaty.
Listen, the Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to make sure you got the most mouth-watering cheeks at the party, baby.
Hey, yo.
Listen, we're staying fresh this summer. We're not doing that other stuff.
All right, that's fair. And the Performance Package 4.0 comes with that crop preserver ball deodorant that keeps your package fresh and clean. So fresh and so clean.
Look, they even doing 2 free gifts with the new Performance Package. Manscaped boxes and the Shed Travel Bag. I mean, listen, you got to have clean hands if you want to get busy, right?
And that's why you use the Shears 2.0, a luxurious nail grooming kit.
Yeah, man, I told my nail tech pull up on me. I told her, but listen, you got to use the, you got to use the Shears 2.0. We're not using your stuff today. We're not, we
I
have to-
respect that about you,
what I'm
man.
saying? We had to use the Manscaped.
You're a
Gotta get me
loyal
right.
guy.
Oh, yeah, I got to stay loyal to the boys, you know what I'm saying?
If you want to be fresh at the barbecue, make sure you use the promo code CREW for 20% off and free shipping.
Yeah. Look, y'all invited him to the barbecue. Now he inviting y'all. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is a setup. They're like, why is he inviting people to barbecue?
Listen, what we doing?
We're going back to the episode.
Back to the episode, baby.
So, who's one of your favorite people you've ever interviewed? Do you have a couple favorites that you're like, that was fun? Like for me personally, I loved your Conor McGregor interview. That was one of my favorites. Like,
Yeah, he's crazy.
he's
He's
yeah,
crazy.
he's
I
just
mean,
like-
I mean it in a good way. though.
Yeah,
I mean
for
it in
sure.
a good way. I love talking to Conor McGregor. I just want him to win. He ain't won but once in
Yeah.
7 years. I mean,
know.
sometimes you got to win again.
It's been tough.
You know,
yeah.
you getting ready to fight Michael Chandler. You're not careful. You're going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
You're going to get knocked out, actually, because one of them going to get knocked out. It's not going the distance.
Oh, no shot.
It's
no
not
shot.
going the distance because
No
they both haymakers.
both
They
dogs.
throw haymakers.
Right.
And so one of them's going. And I hope it's, as much as I like Michael Chandler, I hope it's Conor because I'm rooting for Conor.
I love
Conor he needs some redemption, man.
Yeah.
He
needs
do.
some redemption.
Listen.
time.
Money softened him. We all know that.
You want to know what's so funny is that people always said that. They were like, and I always disagreed with it until I got money, and I was like, damn, I'm chilling.
Yeah,
you know,
be like that,
you
but-
get a little money, and like some of that dog in you, like goes away, and you're like, oh, I got to get back to that. Because in my mind, I was like, no, Connor's got more resources. He can fly his whole team private. He can set up his own gym. But it's like, there's nothing like being in that dirty, disgusting gym where you're just like, I have no option.
Well, his loss to Nurmagomedov
Right.
disproves that notion that you should ever not embrace. Yeah, you get softened up by the money because it's really not the money; it's the comfort. What happens is you go to a level and think about Muhammad Ali when he fought Joe Frazier,
Mhm.
right? And the third time, and what did he say? You know, he was tempted to quit. You know, it's the closest to death he has ever been because it wasn't just the punches he was taking and the blows he was delivering. It was the heat, it was the humidity, it was the pressure. It was so many different things that affected him. And people don't realize in anything that we do, there comes a moment where, if not physically, your soul is asking, how bad do you want this?
Right, for sure.
Is it really, really worth it? And when you have achieved, when you've been fighting for years and your payday is $3 million, $4 million, $5 million,
Right.
and then one night you make $100 million,
Yeah.
and you got the proper 12,
Yeah,
you
which
know,
is making more money than you can ever step into the
which is
ring.
making more money,
Right.
right? It's like, yeah, I can do this. I got skills. I can. But if this dude can overcome that adversity that I'm bringing his way and take me to a depth that I'm not comfortable in, that's when you asking yourself, is it worth it?
Right. But I could argue you
Right.
that Khabib fight Khabib has not lost a round.
Right.
A round, except to Conor McGregor.
That's true.
He lost one. I could give another round to Conor because I love him. But he lost one of those rounds to Conor. I think it was the third.
It might have been the third because Conor got his ass beat in the second round.
And then Conor came back, and Khabib has not lost a round since then. And if you watch all the fights, he's fought everyone. He's fought Dustin. He's fought all the top guys, and he ran through him without losing a round.
But here's what you're missing, respectfully.
Right, yeah, of course, tell me.
Conor McGregor is an elite striker.
Right.
Nurmagomedov never had any intention of outstriking him. The whole objective was to get him to the ground. So while Conor was throwing those blows, Nurmagomedov knew what he had done to him in the second round. And what he was doing now was just waiting to get him down to the mat again.
Right.
So yeah, I'll surrender these points, but I know what I'm about to do to you. I'm just trying to get you to the ground.
For sure.
Poirier doesn't strike like that.
Right.
Chandler doesn't strike like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't do it. And you also got to remember that Conor was helped by the Mayweather fight.
Right.
Because Mayweather, you going in the ring against a boxer. So obviously you're going to pay attention when you do it. Tell you a quick story. I had to go interview Mayweather 3 weeks before his fight with Conor McGregor. We hung out at his house, the whole bit, ABC, ESPN, they sent me there. And it was some long feature that I had done with him because I've known Mayweather for years. Mayweather looked me dead in the face. And Mayweather said, I haven't decided yet. 8, 7, 8, 9th round, somewhere around that. And I'll keep him around, entertain the crowd and all of that stuff. And he said, Steve, it's given. And I said, I've been here, we've been here for hours, man. You ain't pick up the gloves one time. Shit, you chopping a tree. You know what I'm saying? You made a bet that Utah was going to be up by 5 on the Detroit Pistons in the second quarter, and you won the bet and drove and put me in the Bentley and drove down to the casino to pick up $784,000 that you had won because of that 5-minute bet. I mean, what you doing?
Right.
I said, what you doing? Right. Steve, it's easy work. It's easy work.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's
why?
exactly how you said it too.
And I'm like, why? He said, and I never forgot this as long as I live. And you got to be somebody, like if you know anything about boxing, if you've gotten into a boxing ring just to train, just to exercise, you would know what Floyd Mayweather was talking about.
Oh, of course.
He said, quote, this is an exact quote to me. I'll never forget this as long as I live. He said, Steve, I'm going to be right in his face. I said, you moving, ducking from everybody. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
He said, I'm going to be right in his chest. He said, Steve, because when you're in their chest, he said, strikers want to punch. They don't want to grab you in the headlock. They don't want to take you to the ground. He said, they want to punch. He said, that's why he's boxing me. He said, but the difference between me and them damn UFC fighters that he's fighting, he said they would grab him, try to wrestle him to the ground. When you trying to wrestle somebody, you like this. You leaving yourself open to get clicked. You see what I'm saying? He said, no, this is boxing. You always up because you ain't got to worry about none of this. You got your hands here. He said, Steve, I'm going to stay in his chest. He's going to push me off. He said he's going to swing. I'm going to get back in his chest. He's going to push me off. He's going to swing. And he said, meantime, while he's doing all of that, we going to circle the ring.
Yeah.
He said his legs going to get tired. His hips are going to start hurting. And eventually, his arms and his shoulders are going to give out. And he's going to barely be able to lift his arm by about 6th, 7th round. And then it'll be target practice. Yeah. I just looked at him. He said, if you ever get into the boxing ring and you put some gloves on and you're boxing somebody, he said, that is what you have to pay attention to. He said, power punches love leverage. It takes away. He said Tyson was special because he's short, he's stocky, he's powerful, and his short punches are like others' long punches. He said leverage punches. That's his leverage. He said most dudes have never been like that. They need to push off. They need space so they can throw blows. He said if you stay in their chest, they can't handle it. He said their legs go, their arms go, and they're done. He says, so I would tell you that I'll feel it out. If I wanted to go 10, all right, that's for y'all. He said, but he's going. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And he said,
Really 100 IQ.
He said, I'm barely gonna need to hit him.
And he really barely hit him.
He barely hit him?
He was really
Legitimately.
chilling.
He barely hit him.
He was chilling.
And I've looked at every fight the same ever since then. So I only say that to say it's like that's what you got to pay attention to.
For sure.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah, people think it's like a strength thing. This,
That's
right. Now it's like it's everything.
That's right.
Looking fit over there, my guy. You been
Think
in
so?
the gym. I mean, I know you be in the gym all the time, but it looks like you've been hitting it a little, overtime.
Listen, man, it's not just the gym. I started using HelloFresh.
Oh, you switched up to the diet, or
Yeah, bro,
So what's
it's
the
all the diet. I'm telling you.
so what's the HelloFresh like? What's the benefits? Like, why are you looking like this? What is it doing for you?
Dude, HelloFresh has pre-portioned, farm-fresh, seasoned ingredients that gets delivered right to your doorstep.
Damn, I don't even need to go to the grocery store. then.
Yeah, and you don't need to use all those delivery apps that charge you outrageous fees for one meal.
Bro, the delivery fee be like another meal, bro.
Another meal, right?
Basically, it makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable.
Yep. You can get multiple meals. You get more bang for your buck.
And it's busting.
And it's busting.
So that's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
You know the deal. You know the vibes.
I gotta get into him.
Take a bite out of the summer and get a little lean with HelloFresh.
From their fresh crafted seasonal recipes,
To their new fresh and fit summer menu.
HelloFresh is bringing that flavor right to your door.
And if there's anybody who knows anything about flavor, it's Michael.
Make your home the hangout place this summer with crowd-pleasing eats.
It is peak time for summer produce, so make sure you get all the best picks all season long.
Look, it only takes 7 days for them ingredients to travel from the farm to your door.
For quality you can taste with your mouth.
Listen, HelloFresh wants you to have it all. Free time and fresh, tasty food.
That's why they take care of it all, and they bring everything you need delivered right to your front door.
Listen, HelloFresh gets the options that you want. Time to make some dinner.
And it's not repetitive like Date and Me, okay? They get 40 new recipes every week you can choose from. They switch it up on you, all right? Me, I'm the same old. Get what I mean?
Listen, and you'll never get bored because you have something new to try and love every trip, every time.
Yep, they do get bored with me. You do have to switch it up.
But that's why you got to go to HelloFresh.com/crew50
And use the code CREW50 for 50% off plus
and free shipping. You know we don't mess with the shipping tax. We don't do that.
Boys, come on. Again, that is HelloFresh.com/crew50. Make sure you use the code CREW50 for free shipping, 50% off, 50 deal, baby. Back to the episode. Have you done a lot of stuff with Tyson back in the day when he was?
I love Tyson. Yeah. I mean, listen, I didn't like the fact that he bit Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yeah.
But he's Mike Tyson.
Right.
You know, so you understand that. But I think that I love Mike Tyson. I love what he did for the world of sports. Obviously, he didn't like his behavior in some certain situations. A lot of us didn't. But at the end of the day, strictly as a boxer, he never cheated you.
Right.
He never cheated you. The world cheated him because it allowed distractions to invade his life to compromise his greatness.
Right.
Everybody can't be Muhammad Ali. You can't be somebody that got the government after you and strip you of your title for 4 years and threaten to throw you in jail because you don't want to enter the Vietnam War, and you answer all of that adversity with a level of defiance that is unrivaled because you came back and recaptured the heavyweight championship that was unjustly stripped from you. Other people succumb to a lot of shit. If you look at Mike Tyson, married to Robin Givens, her mom being in the picture, not throwing any shade on them, I don't know their business. But the bottom line is everybody knows, everybody sort of reports rather as to what happened with that. You also had Don King, who, by the way, I think is the most hilarious interview I've ever had in my life. Yeah. I've never, in my career, interviewed a person like Don King.
Right.
Because, damn it, some would say he's a crook. I mean, and we all, and ain't nobody gonna call him a liar.
Right.
And also, I've watched this man sit up there and say, what are you talking about, Stephen? Where's the ground? Where's the ground? And I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, Don, there's evidence right there. They've accused you. Accusations are not guilty, please. He said right there. I mean, this is unbelievable. I said, God damn it. I said, Don, is there no shame? What shame? It's America. They tell you what it is. It's the game. They taught me the game, Stephen. I'm not guilty. I'm an innocent victim in all of this, Stephen. This is what he said to me. I mean, yeah, I said innocent? Absolutely, Stephen. I'm trying to tell you, you got to pay attention to this stuff. I said, he said, I am the victim. I said, didn't you rob? I said, didn't you rob Larry Holmes? Did you rob Mike Tyson? Hey, You can take the horse to water. You can't make him drink. What am I going to? He said, what? I said, well, how do you say this stuff? I said, you're taking 35% of their money. He said, at least they had money. He said 35%. He said, excuse me, if I take 35% of $100 million, ain't that better than taking 2% of nothing? He said, that's what I gave. I gave $100 million. He said, look at the paydays I brought them. I said, well, what paydays did they walk away with? Stephen, that's not my concern. I don't know anything about that. I took my share. What they did with their business is their business. That's their side of the fence. I said, Don, you're ridiculous, man. You're always the victim. I said, let me tell you something. If you're that victimized, why don't you just retire? You know what, Stephen A? From your list of God's ears, I think I'm going to think about that. I said, oh my God. I mean, I have never interviewed someone in my career where you have heard me laugh that hard for that long because it didn't matter. Right. I'm talking about serious stuff, serious accusations. And I was laughing because I could not believe the answers he was giving. No shade. Zero. And I mean zero. He wasn't guilty of shit.
That is crazy.
Nothing. That's Don King. But Mike Tyson, but considering what Mike Tyson had to go through, man, I mean, look, man, when you walk into the ring, I will tell you this, one of the most powerful moments that I've seen in my years of covering professional sports. I was in Detroit when Mike Tyson came back and fought Andrew Galata. Mm-hmm. Now you see Floyd Mayweather, he comes out to fight Canelo. He got on a Mexican hat. Cinco de Mayo. So, having a blast. He don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. You know, you see Deontay Wilder with that crazy heavy costume that he blamed for the second loss to Tyson Fury, the first loss to Tyson Fury, you know, and all of that. So you see that. You see all of this stuff going on. Mike Tyson, you got to hear the music. Roy Jones coming out to rap music, the whole bit. Got rap artists singing for him and stuff like that. Mike Tyson came out and walked from the locker room to that arena, and all you heard was doom, that just ominous sound. And he had on a towel ripped up over his head and walked to the ring, and everything about him said, I'm coming to end your life. And he dropped Andrew Galata in the second round, and Andrew Galata could have continued, but clearly didn't want to. Now, he wasn't as bad as Bruce Seldon, who I will never forgive. I've never met Bruce Seldon. I don't know him. God bless him and his family, wherever they are in this day and age. I don't even know if he's still alive. I hope he is and doing well. But I will never forgive him as a boxing fan for what he did when he fought Tyson. He lost at a knockout in the first round. Tyson never touched him. Tyson swung. He completely missed. Bruce Seldon went down, and by the count of 10, when the referee waved the fight up, Bruce Seldon was up hugging Mike Tyson. He came near. Now, we've seen people come for a check. Right. For example.
That's crazy.
That's right. We've seen people come for a check. Michael Spinks came for a check. He knew he couldn't beat Mike Tyson. He was in the locker room, according to the reports. I know people that worked at Atlantic City, okay? He was in the locker room crying. Mike Tyson was in the locker room because Mike Tyson comes out last. Remember, he's the champion. He was being held up by Michael Spinks. They said, I don't know whether this was true or not, but they said Mike Tyson was in there punching walls. He was so furious because remember, the whole Robin Givens stuff was going on at that time, okay? Mike Tyson was punching walls, they said. What they didn't know, he was punching the walls because he knew that Michael Spinks was making him wait, and he thought it was a tactic. Mike Tyson did not know that, I think it was Butch Lewis who was the promoter. If I'm wrong, I apologize because it just popped in my head. But they said that Michael Spinks was in the locker room crying because he had to go out there. And the promoter was crying with him and hugging him and saying, you got to go. You got to go out there because, you know, you got to fight. Right. You know, so at that time, it's a $13 million payday. Right. And so that was huge, huge money, you know, in the world of boxing and, you know, in late 80s and stuff like that. He was that petrified.
He was probably punching the wall from the other wall that he was
like,
in. He was like,
I'm not going.
But I will say this. You understand it in a sport like that. Yeah, if it's the UFC and you got to go against Francis Ngannou or John Bones Jones, or if it's boxing and you had to go against Mike Tyson or George Foreman back in the day who was vicious. My father was afraid that Muhammad Ali was going to die. That's how vicious George Foreman was and powerful. So you mean you do have that, but there's no excuse to be that way in any other sport.
No,
Right,
you're-
But those
right.
two,
Yeah.
I understand.
But
Right,
damn,
you-
he got knocked out without being touched though.
At all. No, because he gets came for the money.
Yeah, he came for that bag.
He never got. I'm telling
So
you,
I
go
got the
back.
check. We
Watch
good.
this.
We out. Thanks,
I did Mike Tyson's podcast. Mike Tyson said, "You see, you right. I never touched him. Nobody believed me." So what do you mean nobody believed you? I saw it.
Yeah.
Slow roll the tape. Rewind that bad boy. Put it in slow motion. He never touched him.
Yeah.
He never touched his jaw. Never. He went down from the air that
Damn.
Mike Tyson missed with Mike Tyson swing. Went down and got up and hugged him.
I think a lot of the
Sign
hype
that check
that
and
comes
was
with
outta there.
Tyson and with McGregor, that's almost 75% of what you have to get through. And then the fight is there, and then obviously they are who they are. But it's a lot of that.
Well, you
mental.
can say that. What I would say to you is this. McGregor, as skilled as he is, in the same breath, again, he hadn't fought an Omega Medoff and stuff like that.
for sure.
Tyson
What the time Aldo
was
hasn't lost in 10
destroyed.
years.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but in the same breath, I mean, it was like, yeah, and he messed with Aldo.
Right.
And Aldo was big time. I get that.
Right.
But Tyson, that was a different
Yeah,
animal.
for sure.
A different animal, bro.
For sure.
I mean, listen, I'm scared of Mike Tyson.
Right.
He talking about National Geographic and hyenas and animals that
And
eat you from the
birds and
rectum
shit.
and inside out. I was like, this, yo, man, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. I ain't come here for this. What the hell you talking about?
Yeah.
Animals eating folks and eating other animals and shit like that. Anybody want to see that? Don't want to talk about that. He said, yeah, watch it all the time.
Listen, Mike, you've been hearing about all this AI stuff.
Oh yeah, AI's taking over.
It's taken over, but there is still some stuff that takes some tedious work.
Now that is true. Like shipping clothes, shipping packages, all that is mad work. You got to remember the addresses. You got to bring them in time, fashion. Like it's too much. But luckily for e-commerce business owners, shipping is no longer a manual task because now we got ShipStation.
ShipStation. Save time with your shipping and returns with their automated dashboard.
Man, this dashboard is so easy to use, and there's even a free trial. It's a quick setup.
So now is the time to use ShipStation if you've been on the fence.
And this is why ShipStation is so elite, bro. You can automate shipping tasks in one dashboard. Simple.
Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, all in one simple, easy to use dashboard.
You can print shipping labels easily,
Compare rates
delivery times to optimize every shipment.
and automate delivery notifications. Listen to our Crew Has It listeners, okay? We're all hustlers. I get all the DMs from everyone. We all have a business. We all have merch. We all have stuff that we're trying to push. We're trying to sell. We're trying to get out there. Make it easy with ShipStation. I promise you.
You ain't never gonna worry about overpaying for shipping ever again.
And you can get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates.
84%?
That's crazy.
That's damn near free.
Use our promo code to try ShipStation for free for 2 whole months.
Spend more time growing your business when you automate shipping tasks with ShipStation. I'm telling you.
So go to ShipStation.com, use the promo code THECREW for your free 60-day trial.
That's ShipStation.com, code THECREW. And now, back to the episode, baby.
So you're obviously so close to all these athletes and everything. You've seen a lot. What do you think makes someone succumb to, like, obviously you see people who are great and who can, and then you have the John Morants on the other side that can get caught up in a lot of that. No disrespect to him or anything, but like, what do you think it is? Like, is there something that you see specific in people that go, oh no, they're going to be a problem? Or is it what they grew up around? Is it who they're around now? Like, what's something?
I think a lot of it has to do with who you're around.
Yeah.
And what kind of
The
cloth.
circle defines you.
Yeah, and what kind of cloth you're made of. It's like, you could take what y'all do. Are you trying to win or not?
Right.
You got show, but you're trying to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're trying to win, I don't give a damn what it is that you're trying to win at. It takes a little something extra. And when you are the kind of person that doesn't prioritize that, that's a problem. And I spend my career, and I'll tell you, I do this gladly, and I know it gets on people's nerves, but I don't give a damn. I watch little things that contribute to what matters to you. I remember Michael Jordan being near tears when they lost to Detroit those years. I remember the Lakers three-peating and then getting annihilated that postseason by San Antonio, and Kobe on the bench with tears running down his eyes, down his face. You see stuff like that. It matters because it tells you and reminds you that no matter how much you think you care as a fan, as a pundit, as anything, you're not them. And then you see other cats. It's low management. It's it's the shrugging of the shoulders. It ain't no big deal. It's getting bounced out and not even making the playoffs, and you driving down the highway singing Beyonce's "You Can't Touch My Soul."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's in Ja Morant's case. In Ja Morant's case, and I think he's a superstar
For sure.
and I got a lot of love for him. And I want to emphasize that Ja Morant didn't break no laws.
Right.
He didn't break any laws. It was not a violation of any laws for him to have a gun or anything like that. But it is a violation of the NBA's policy. You signed up to play for the NBA, so you got to pay attention to it. Y'all got a show. If Stars come and says, we don't want y'all doing no interviews right now. We need y'all to lay low for 2 months. You're going to lay low for 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I work for Disney. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Does he sit up there and say, shit, it ain't part of my contract. You know what I'm saying? I get a call from Bob Iger. I get a call from Jimmy Pitaro, president of ESPN. Stephen, any favor? I own my own podcast.
Yeah.
I don't, nobody controls that. I own it.
Right.
I operate it. But damn it, I get a call from Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro, and they're like, we need to talk to you about something. Huh? We got a conversation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not stupid.
Right.
And so you have a situation where you have some people that want to act because they come from here and now they here. They've arrived. Getting there is challenge number 1. Staying there is challenge number 2.
That's the hardest challenge.
That's right. And if you, and I think that when you Ja Morant, I didn't hear any of this stuff when you were looking for the 5 years, $231 million guaranteed. I heard nothing. I didn't see no police reports. I ain't see no video of you in the strip club. I didn't see none of that. I saw none of that. Suddenly you got your bag, and so we see this stuff. We see your boys filming you on Instagram. We see you, doing whatever it is that you're doing. And it was like, wait a minute. So I'm the kind of person where somebody will look at it and you don't know him and you just, the athlete, he's done this. That. I'm the kind of person that'll be like, I ain't seen none of this before you got your bag.
Right.
And that was a conversation that me and AI had years ago. Yeah, I never forget when I tell AI, man, fuck all that. I'm going to be as real and authentic as I possibly can be. And why you getting on me like that for? And I say, yeah, I want you to get your bag, baby. I want you to get your money. But let me tell you something since you asked. This was like in 2001, 2002, he and I had this conversation. I said, yo, man, 1996, June, you got drafted. Yeah. I said, I know, I was there. I said, do you remember meeting me 3 weeks before? We at the Elevated, Hyatt, Chicago, pre-draft camp. Remember that? He's like, yeah, I remember. And I said, warm-up suit one day, suit draft night. It's cool, right? I said, what were you wearing? You had on a suit, blah, blah, blah. I said, where were the braids? You didn't have any. You had a nice fade. You cut nice, the whole bit. Said tattoos over your hands, neck, eyes, all that shit. I said, I ain't seen none of that shit. How come I ain't see it? Got quiet. I said, because you were trying to get paid. You want that Reebok deal? You want those? I said, you want those endorsement deals and all this money coming down the pike. You want your money. Fine, right? I said, yeah. He said, I got that. So now that you got the money, now you're going to completely reverse script and encourage everybody else to do so, knowing it's got the potential to get in the way of their bag.
Right.
That ain't right.
Right.
So me, I'm 55. I've been in this business for a while. I'm not going to go to either of y'all and advise y'all to do something that's going to get in y'all way because I made it and I can do it now.
Right.
Nah, what got me here? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm going to let you know what got me here. So in not everything, because obviously the world changes, the world evolves, and things that wasn't acceptable before is acceptable now. People receive it differently. I understand it. They ain't worried about corn braids now. They ain't worried about tats now. But back then they were. Hell, it was a dress code eventually that came into play by former Commissioner David Stern after the Malice at the Palace in Auburn Hills with Ron Artest and all of those boys. So we understand that, right? We understand it. I'm saying to you, if you know the game, why would you veer somebody in a different direction knowing it's going to impede their ability to get paid when you didn't do it. That's selling out.
Yeah.
That's what truly selling out is, because you're not looking out and guiding somebody through the same terrain you ended up going through successfully. Now, if it didn't work for you, that would have been different. But shit, if it worked for you, what's your problem? Because if you ain't doing that, you ain't doing right by them. And that's how I roll.
Right.
And so I'm the kind of person, I'm that mirror. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is what you did. So now you want to preach something different. Nah, you can't do that. Not on my watch.
For sure. I love that. I love that. Yeah, you've always been super supportive of us, and I always do appreciate that. Like, honestly, just sitting here listening to you, oh my God, I'm learning so much. Like, it's just great.
It's my responsibility. Just people teach me. I'm sure I ain't no genius.
Yeah.
People taught me.
Yeah.
And it's my job to pass it down.
Yeah,
So
we are
everybody else
going to
can
have to
succeed
fight
too.
over Kim Kardashian, but
What's the fight with that? What's the fight with that?
I hear a rumor that's your girl. I don't know.
Oh, hell no. First of all, anybody knows Beyonce is always number one on my list.
Oh.
It's just that Jay-Z is my brother, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't got a snowball's chance in hell at any of them, but even if I did, I would never do that to my brother. Beyonce is sensational. There's no one that compares to her in my mind. J-Lo yes, she's in another stratosphere. I don't even think she's up there. I can't find where she is as far as I'm concerned.
It'd be like
Beyonce
that.
is
It'd be like
just like that.
It's always a few of them.
It's just like that. But there's a lot of
stratosphere.
people that they think they know me, but they sleep on a lot of names that I throw out there. J-Lo's in her 50s. Give props where it's due.
Oh, no,
For her to
she
look
tough,
at what
though.
she's tough now. You understand?
She's tough.
Kim Kardashian is nice. I mean, I cannot.
She nice.
I cannot.
She is nice.
I cannot deny that. All right.
She tough too.
I am a fan. I am. But I'm a fan of Megan Good.
Yeah,
I'm a
Lord,
fan too.
Lord have mercy.
Megan,
Good
when you
is
coming on the
Meg-
podcast, man?
Megan Good is something special.
Yeah.
I'm a
Something
fan
real
of
good.
Sanaa Lathan.
Mhm.
I've been a fan of Sanaa Lathan for years.
Yep.
Okay, so it's quite a few.
Oh no,
okay?
you know what you're doing though. You got a good eye.
Yeah. I ain't never had a problem with vision.
2020.
So how do you date? Are you do you actively date, or what are you doing? Are you on Raya a little bit?
I have somebody in my life. I
Nice.
always have somebody in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I roll.
That's healthy.
I mean, I'm not. Yes,
That's healthy.
it's very healthy. It's not healthy to do without. I mean, you're a Catholic. You aspire to be a monk or a priest or whatever. You want to vibe with the Pope and you preach celibacy. God bless you. That is not my lane. That's not who I am.
That's that other lane.
That's not who I am. But in the same breath, you get older, and all of a sudden there's things that just don't phase you anymore. You've been there, you've done that, and so it's nothing for me to be with one woman at a time. It's nothing for me to be in a monogamous relationship. Marriage is a different animal, but it's more so because of fear of finances and stuff like that. I just did my podcast or something like that just the other day on the Stephen A. Smith show because I talked about Kevin Costner, and you got a wife, you got 3 kids, you getting a divorce, and she's saying $52,000+ per month ain't enough in child support. She wants over $200,000. You 68 years old. Who knows how many jobs you got left in your career? She trying to take $200,000 per
a
month. I'm like, damn. That's pretty harsh.
That's
And
a Porsche a month.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a 911
Yeah,
GT3.
and so you see stuff like that, and a lot of times when people look at people and they talk about they're single, it's real popular, particularly with men, where you thinking about them and you saying stuff along the lines of, well, they just don't want to be with one woman, or they just want to be out there. No, a lot of times they want to keep their money. A lot of times they want to keep their pension and their savings and all that stuff. And by the way, the same goes for women, because there's a lot of women out there where you got cats, taking them to the cleaners. We live in a society right now where if you making more money than your significant other, you got something to be worried about, no matter what your gender is.
And that's scary.
That's scary.
That's
and
scary
so
business,
and so you think about it like that, all of a sudden love becomes business.
Right.
And but when you younger, well, I can't repeat the things that I did when I was young. And I lived, life ends for all of us at some point, but let's just say whether they won't write my epitaph about it because they don't know, because I don't spread my business, but I've lived a beautiful, beautiful life. A beautiful life, and for most of my life, as a black heterosexual man, it's been quite lovely. I've had a lovely life.
That's insane. I absolutely love that.
We love this.
I love that. All right, we'll ask you some power questions. We'll get John out of here. So we ask all the guests who come on from the show this, but also I know you're a huge fan, so I wanted to ask you some. So if you could play one character in the Power universe, who would it be?
You know what? Rashad Tate.
Yeah, that would be fire.
Lorenz is my man. I love him to
He's the
death.
man.
He's a phenomenal actor. He's, a lot of people don't appreciate how long he's been around.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sitting there like, did y'all ever watch Love Jones?
Mhm.
I mean, that's a long time ago, but this brother's been around that long.
Yep.
Menace to Society and all that. I mean,
Society,
this brother's something special. But I love the role that he plays. I can tell you right now, first of all, I've spoken to Courtney in the past, 50 in the past, who I think is phenomenal. Amari Hardwick is my brother. We ain't just friends. That's my brother. We're very tight. That's my man. And I throw out, and of course, Joseph Sikora, who plays Tommy.
Yep.
That's my dog too. I love him to death, man. I'm really proud of him as well, even though they're two different kind of cats. You look at Amari, cerebral dude, deep thinking, got plans 10 years ahead and
Right.
all this other stuff. So, Joseph is smart as hell and is always plotting and planning, but he's also living in the moment, and it just really got a vibrancy for life, and just being around him, I love him a lot. But I just look at stuff like that, man, and I plenty of times I come with different storylines. Like for me, Rashad Tate would be the governor.
Yeah.
I'd have him as a governor rather than somebody who's maneuvering to capture power. I'd like him to be
have
somebody
the
who
power.
had the power.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
dangerous right there.
I mean, could you imagine the stuff that he would wield and the way that he would do stuff? Him, Meth, with what he has done as a lawyer. I mean, I think his role is to perfection. You something else, brother. You something else, brother. I mean, you the mastermind. You know what I'm saying? You Kid Magic.
Listen, man.
Doing your thing.
Picked up after Pops, you know?
No doubt about it. But I'm just telling you, for me, it would be Rashad Tate.
That's the first
That
time
would be
we've ever
fire.
gotten
But
that answer.
I would tell you, Kane would be a close second.
Yes.
I love.
It's a great character.
I
That was
love,
my answer,
I
too.
love Kane's character. I love that brother's doing a phenomenal job.
great.
Shout out
He,
Woody,
he,
man.
he did,
Woody's
yo,
killing
man.
this
He's
shit.
special.
Yeah.
He plays that role to the hilt. I don't see any weakness in his game in that role at all. He's special.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite scene is? Power or Ghost? Either one.
Wow.
Or you could pick one from Ghost and you could pick one from Power.
Wow. I got to think about
Yeah,
that
that's tough.
really, really, really
there's so many
hard. I'm
seasons.
trying to think.
There's so many. That's
I'm
tough.
trying to think when your sister got killed.
Oh, that's
Right,
tough.
and you was out for vengeance. Honestly speaking, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna be controversial with this, but it's true because actually Amari and I talked about this because I literally said to him before, and he had to remind me when the scene. I couldn't believe. I said I missed that scene. I didn't really. I was somebody that was getting very, very upset when him and Moms, Tasha, who's also fabulous. Tell her I said hello, please. Love her to death. You know what I'm saying? She's special. The scene where she was asking him last season, like, did you ever love me? And he looked at her and he said, I did. But you remember that scene? I sat down and I told you I want to lead this business. She said, you're going to be the biggest drug dealer in the state of New York. He said, that was your dream for me. And because I was saying to him so many times, we got a lot of ladies watching these shows. And it's like, I'm one of those guys. I'm never scared to tackle issues involving women because I was raised by 5 of them.
Right.
My mother and my 4 older sisters primarily raised me. And so because of that, I've been dealing with debates about male, female issues all my life
Right.
with my 4 sisters. I had at least until recently, the last few years, I had about 90 living relatives. 80 were women. I mean, I've been surrounded by women and obviously, like I said, I've been single, so I told you how I've been surrounded by women all my life.
Had a beautiful life. Had a beautiful life.
I had a beautiful life. So I've been surrounded by women all my life. So what I'm saying is that I'm kind of used to these discussions, and so what happens is I was saying to Amari at the time, I said, "Yo, when are they gonna address that scene? That's how you hooked up with Angela to begin with, because wifey." Was pushing you to deal drugs, and she wasn't paying attention to your dream. So you're a lady out there, and you got a man in your life, and your beauty matters, the chemistry, the partnership. But part of what comes with that is the support y'all provide each other. He's got to feel what your dreams are about, but you got to feel his dreams too. And I was like, that to me, when I went back and watched it and saw that scene, I loved that. The other scene was when Tommy went to the apartment and smoked.
Oh,
I left that
Proctor.
door
And,
open.
and you left that door open. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean,
I was like, damn, not my
he
guy
said,
Proctor, man.
yes, Proctor. I mean, it was like he took him out. And
They
it was
did
like,
that up like crazy.
That was
They
tough.
they did that. That was a tough one. I mean, he pumped
They going to
major.
get the hot chocolate, the ice cream with Lisa Marie.
That's
oh,
right.
Yeah, you want to go get the ice cream?
That's right. He pumped major bullets into that brother, and
Yeah,
I
he
felt
upped
bad.
it. He
And
upped it.
this is the thing. When I watch shows like that, Proctor was so brilliant in his role. See, somebody like me, I would have a hard time killing off that character.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's so much damage they could do.
Yeah.
And there's so many. When he went,
He got leverage.
When he was in the courtroom and picked Angela apart the way that oh my good, the fruit of the poisonous tree. I was like, damn. I mean, got her good. but I love that. But I also, again, I also loved when you had to smoke the professor in the park because he was being a little bit too nosy following you around.
I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want to do it, but you had to do it.
But I had to do what you
told
gotta do
him.
for the
And you
end.
lectured him before you
Yeah,
killed him.
listen,
You
man.
lectured him. You lectured him.
I said, why?
You lectured the professor.
Why you make me
Why
do
you
this?
make me
Why
do
you
this,
make
man?
me do this? Why you
It
make me
always
do
comes
this?
down to
It
me,
always
my family,
comes-
and the gun.
There you go. There you go.
You've acted before, right?
I'm in General Hospital. I got a recurring role on a soap opera.
You like it?
How was that?
I love it.
Y'all shoot
I
super
love it.
fast
I'm
pace?
not.
That's how
I don't
super fast
consider
pace is that
myself
thing.
an actor at all. I've never had any training, and I respect the art. And so when it's people like yourselves that have worked your lives to be in your position, I'm not on y'all level. I don't do that. My lane is my lane. I say that from the standpoint of never confusing myself with real, true actors. Now, do I believe I can come on a show or come in a movie and make
Hell
some
yeah.
noise and make some shit
Hell
happen?
yeah.
Yes, I do. But I would never sit up there and be like, yo, I'm them. No, I'm not them.
Honestly, though, but like acting is just if you're really great at being yourself, which
Right.
there's honestly nobody in the industry that's better at being.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you're just such a polarizing person at
Right.
all. You don't need to play Stephen A. Smith. You
You'll
could
be
go on any
super
show
present.
and they write you as a father. They write you like this. If you just be you and say the lines, you could kill it.
To me, they got me as a surveillance expert for the mob and the soaps. And I tell folks, if I had a character, and this is before power came into existence, when I dreamt about a character that I would have loved to play, is Nino Brown in New Jack City.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, somebody seeing me in that role, and you got to remember
That'd
that
be
because
fire.
no matter how
Yeah,
no
you
matter
gotta
how
put it out there.
bombastic or demonstrative that I could be about sports, remember I still work for Disney.
Right.
And so what happens is to imagine somebody seeing me in that role, me being from the streets of New York, born in the Bronx, raised in Hollis, Queens, drug dealers as friends, some killers. What was it, Hoe Avenue or whatever. This was I was there. I was only there for like the first 6 months of my life, and then I departed. And I was in Hollis, Queens, on 2/3 Street in Hollis, Queens, ever since then. But I'm saying for me,
Right.
to see me in that role, for somebody to see me, because again, I grew up around it. I know it. Some of my friends, God bless them, some of them are gone, some of them are locked up. Obviously some of them are out and some of them never went. But that element is not foreign to me.
Right.
I've been surrounded like that all my life. And so when I see certain roles, I'm like, he ain't playing that shit right.
Yeah.
If it was me, people see me, I'm watching Powers, I'm like, oh, she gotta go. She gotta go. And one like Effie is one of my favorite all-time characters. I mean, she is, and I like Diana, and I like all of them. I really, really do. Lauren, all of them. But Effie, Effie, I'm just talking about. I mean, she. Don't get me wrong. Don't love her because she ain't gonna love you back. I mean, she loved Tyreek, but Tyreek, but
She still did him dirty.
She was still ready to end him. She was still ready to end him. You had to come save the day, and I'm sitting there like, but she is something else. I mean, she's a rough rider.
For sure.
She's a
She
rough
cold.
rider,
For
which
sure.
was great riding because she needed to hook up with Kane, even if it was for sure. Then she kicked his ass to the curb like he was nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, you get shocked by
Cold.
all of
She
this
cold.
stuff. She
Cold
cold.
world.
She cold.
Cold
But there's
world.
always some place for like to me, the new character Noma. Oh, I love her. I was
Yeah.
mad. I didn't think she'd get enough shine.
Yeah.
I'm like, your first scene, you cutting off somebody's arm just to get a ring.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I mean, you could have shot.
coulda
him.
just-
She
yeah, you
just
coulda
shot.
shot.
him.
Yeah.
Oh no, she cut off the arm.
Yeah.
Coulda
Cut
cut the
off the wrist.
finger.
They cut off the wrist. Well, I'm like,
the
damn.
whole shit.
And she would sit up there. I'm looking at her and I'm like, I wanted the confrontation
Yeah.
with her and Mary J.
Right.
With Monet, but I mean, it's a lot of ways the storyline could go. Y'all done a hell of a job, man. I love it.
It's so many
Season
plot
4.
twists that could happen. It's crazy.
Season 4 is
we almost got that in
spicy.
the
Oh, my
can.
goodness. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
we got
just
like what 4 more filming
We got
days
like
of that?
4 more days
they
left.
have to show me how the hell y'all survive. Because remember, Noma's connected everywhere because Mecca's gone, and I wish he hadn't died too. I wish he hadn't smoked him. You know what I'm saying? But damn it, people got to die. We understand that.
right.
They got to go. Some people got to go.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
But I looked at Noma and I'm like, well, shit, she's a powerful woman, connected all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how the hell you come up in there and save him? I'm like, where y'all gonna run to? Y'all ain't got no help.
That's why this is an
I'm like,
anticipated
how they
season
gonna pull?
4.
How they gonna
season
pull that
4.
off?
The opening
You know?
to season 4, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's probably my favorite episode, 401.
That's right.
401, it's
is
an
crazy.
insane episode.
I can't wait.
That
I
shit is
cannot wait.
But
different.
we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Man,
we're big fans of you.
appreciate
And
it, man.
when we recap episodes next year, we would love to have you come on
Anytime.
and talk about the episode.
Anytime. Happy to come back, man.
So plug all your stuff, the Stephen A. Smith Show, everything you got going on.
First take, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on ESPN every weekday. NBA Countdown. Next year, I'll be doing ABC. I won't be doing ESPN. I'll probably, in all likelihood, I'll probably be doing ABC. I'll definitely be doing ABC, but likely just that. But obviously, that's still a discussion. NBA is Stephen A's world. It's just some, you come into my living room couch. My sister's the cook. My sister could throw down. She brings the food the whole night.
what's up? When we getting the invite? When we getting the invite?
Consider it done.
Yes.
Y'all be there next season. I'll bring y'all both there. Come
For
on,
sure.
come on together and promote your podcast. Talk a little basketball all at the same time.
sure.
That stuff is going to be cool. And of course, my podcast, the Stephen A. Smith Show. It was called No Mercy, but everybody Googles Stephen A.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I changed it to the Stephen A. Smith Show, and the whole bit is blowing up, and just real happy to have it, man. I'm really, really blessed. I've been blessed and fortunate to achieve a lot of success in my career, but it hasn't stopped. It's still climbing.
Oh yeah,
You're
we
a
still
GOAT in
going
this
up.
industry.
Yeah,
You're
right.
a
Still
GOAT.
going up.
Yeah, right.
Still going up. Mike Rain Jr. on Instagram. Where's 22 on Instagram? Where's 22 on YouTube? We got vlogs every Sunday. Y'all don't slack. We're not slacking no more. Every Sunday. We keeping consistent. But yeah,
Right.
go follow your boy. Subscribe, all that.
Yeah. Gianni V. Paolo, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I got about 3 vlogs out right now. Go check them
The
out.
boy's consistent too.
Yeah.
More consistent than I was when I first started. So
Go check
tune
out-
into the boy.
Go check out The Baby Shake Some
Oh, yeah,
remix. Your boy was in the video with Sexy Red.
It was fire.
And we got new merch.
New merch, baby.
We got
Go
new
get
merch.
that.
Crew member. Crew has it on the back. We're gonna get you some merch.
No
Oh,
problem.
yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, go cop that merch before it's all gone. Michael, give us one.
Wait, I just want to take a time to appreciate a good time piece real quick. I seen that. When you came in here. I want
You
to
guys on
appreciate
this?
a good time piece. You know what I'm saying? You
Rolex.
gotta show them. You gotta show
It's a
them.
Rolex.
That's rose gold.
Rose gold.
Don't play with him. But listen,
That
man.
Disney money's different.
We got the legend in this joint, man.
Can't
Stephen
be,
A. Smith.
man.
And the crew has it.
The crew has it, and you have it. Thank you so much, Stephen. We appreciate
My
it.
pleasure, man. Congratulations to all your success.